How's it going?
Hold on a minute, I'm just going to bring up my chat just so I can see if people are, currently watching. Okay. Go. Yeah, I'll just bring up the tier list. Right, I'll just wait for people to come to, the chat and just we'll get started on, ranking ranking these. Wait, hold on. I'm just going to help spread the message. Just 1 minute. Alright. Right there. I really hope that people start watching. If not, then I'll be sad. Alright, this can go away. Boop. Boop. Alright. Okay. So it's wait, why is my oh, whoops. Whoops. Turn off the wrong thing. Whoops. Alright, there we go. Okay, now we can. Alright. So if anybody's in the chat, please put something in the chat so I know that someone is watching. Right, I definitely am seeing the view counts going up a bit. So yeah, let's just get started. So welcome to the Strim. Today we're going to be doing something a little more fun, which is going to be ranking TF2's weapons. As you can see here, I have this here tier list, and we're basically ranking things based on their practicality and their results, and also partially if they are fun to use, if they're both fun and functional. Oh, and of course I already and I put the reskins here in the same tier because they're basically the same as stock anyway, so that's basically how they go basically. And just for funsies, I put the frying pans way up the top because the frying pans. So basically, I'll explain which tier the weapon, which tiers are, and basically just explain why they're called that. So annoying is basically the same as the best, but you're basically pissing off everybody if you're using it, pretty much. Okay, the best is basically pretty much meta, if you know what TF2 meta is, that is. Great is basically pretty one of the great options. Good is also self-explanatory. Decent is it's not bad, but it's not downright amazing. And at least people won't dox you for using it. And terrible is basically the option where it's either downright terrible or it's just something that you just use for memes. So anyway, now that we've got that out of the way, okay, the stock syringe gun. I'm pretty sure all of us know where this one's going. It's going in terrible. Like, if he hits all the syringes, then it does decent damage. But the thing is, the projectiles are slow, and they're it's basically super hard to basically hit all of them anyway. Unless you're really good at aiming, just don't use the stock syringe gun. And basically, there's no good reason to use the syringe guns until you get the crossbow, which is always going to be a better option. That's pretty much it. And another tier, your Eternal Reward. This used to be a really good option, but it's now going to terrible because, well, having a side backstab is good, but sacrificing disguising hang for cloak is really a crippling downside for many reasons. And I can't list those reasons because I am not a spy main. So the only reason you would actually use this if you just want to get chain stars, but even then stuff like the kunai or the big earner does the job way better. Okay, the bushwhacker goes into the best because it's basically the option where if you basically pair this with Girardi or what's the name of the other SMG, the Cleaner's Carbine, you can basically turn guaranteed mini crits into guaranteed full crits, which is basically insane, pretty much. And if you use it with Girardi, it basically is very annoying, but if you use this with the Cleaner's Carbine, it's basically pretty fun to do. The Scorched Shot. Yeah. Pretty much. The Wrangler. Again, yeah. Yeah, these two options are basically annoying. I don't like them. Right? I just don't like the Scorched Shot because it's basically too overpowered. It's just way too overpowered, and it basically guarantees that the entire server is going to hate you when you choose Pyro. Like, come on. And the Wrangler, well, I definitely do like using it from time to time. I honestly prefer using the pistol more because it's super annoying and basically just tanks your sentry way too much, and it's just way too unbalanced. But thankfully, it has received several nerfs over the years, and it's never received a single buff in its life. Anyway, the Crusader's crossbow goes in the best because shooting a projectile that can heal your teammates and also does comparably better at longer distances is pretty good, if you know how to aim, you idiot. And the projectile is also super fast and it reloads passively. So that means it's basically the best medic primary. The Girardi goes in the best because A, it's funny, and B, you get guaranteed mini crits. That means it's pretty great. And also, I feel like many sniper mains would crucify me if I put it into terrible, because, come on. Alright, the buff banner. I'm honestly putting this in great because I'm putting this in the best because I feel like the buff banner is criminally underrated. Like, you get guaranteed mini crits just from dealing damage in general. I mean, I think that's really useful. Hold on. Whoop. I think that's just a very useful thing to do, you know? Just, you do tons of damage, and you give you and your teammates guaranteed mini crits for a limited amount of time. It's a really useful thing. I mean, there are other options, but I definitely do think there's no true bad banner for Soldier. Right? The Boston Basher goes in the best because if you hit, basically, you hit an opponent, you get bleed damage, which makes it almost a direct upgrade towards the stock bat. But of course, if you hit yourself, if you miss, you hit yourself, you idiot. Yeah, yeah, I'm taking the description to words. Anyway, the gloves are running urgently. I have to put this in the best because having more speed on heavy is definitely very useful. I mean, how it used to work is that when you pulled them out, you were marked for death, similar to the escape plan. But now the downside is it drains your health, which, I mean, it's basically super useful if you want to get to the map quickly or if you need to get out there in the pinch. Okay, the Gunslinger. This goes in the best because it's basically the crucial battle NG tool. I mean, it makes you the battle NG. I mean, it gives you extra health, and you also get to build mini sentries, which pairs well with certain shotguns, so it's pretty useful. Okay, the Dragon's Fury. I'm putting this one in good. I mean, it's a type of weapon that is really meant to be for a specific type of pyro. I mean, unless you're me and just suck at aiming as pyro with this weapon, it's probably not going to be for you, but it can do more damage against burning players, which is pretty good, but it is a bit slow, which is a bit of a downside. Right, the Degreaser. I have to put this. I'm putting this in best. If I don't, then Pyromanes will crucify me. That's I mean, the Degreaser has received several nerfs, but it's still a mainstay for Pyromanes. The Diamondback. This goes on annoying because I mean, you get guaranteed crits for just doing what Spy normally does. And, that's basically annoying, pretty much. Okay, Shotgun. I'm putting this in the best because it's consistent, does great damage, especially at close range, and it's pretty powerful as well, and it's perfect for, finishing off opponents. I mean, if you're like me, it's pretty great on tons of classes, even on heavy, because, you know, Fat Scout. Anyway, the Market Gardener. This goes in the best because, you know, you get guaranteed crits just from rocket jumping, and also it's perfect for Trollger because, you know. And the Kniver's Kunai also goes in the best. You get free health from backstabs. You can pretty much get free overheal. Yo, that's great. Okay, Mad Milk. Right, it goes in the best because it's pretty much one of the best scout support tools. I mean, you throw it at an enemy, they get soaked in milk, and you kill an enemy or shoot them in the behind, and you get health. That's pretty useful. Right, the stock Medigun. I'm putting this in the best because yes, it is a stock weapon, but it is honestly a pretty good option. I'd say it's one of the more underrated options compared to the other miniguns, but all the options are really great and perfect for, you know, healing enemies. Right, the Panic Attack. It's great on all classes except heavy. So, for that reason alone, I'm putting the Panic Attack in great. It's not bad, it's not in the best, but it being not really too great on heavy is why I'm putting it on great. But that doesn't mean it is a bad option. Right, Bonk. Right, it goes into, I'd say great. It's perfect if you need to it's perfect get out of jail card, especially if you need to get around sentries, which is pretty much a problem and that Scout faces in a lot, pretty much. Right, the Bizarre Bargain. It goes in the best because once you get 2 headshots, once you get more headshots, it basically is a direct upgrade. It's pretty much, yeah. Right, the Atomizer. It's basically my favorite. It's basically my go-to when I'm playing Scout because having an extra jump is useful. Right, the Ambassador. This one is going to be a controversial one, but I'm putting this in the best because you get free critical hits from headshots. And I know some people may be saying stuff like DPS is worse or it has fall off, but first of all, why do you care about DPS if you're playing a spy? And second of all, the the damage fall off isn't really that bad. At least it's not as much as spy mains make it out to be. Alright, I just feel like this weapon, ever since its nerf in Jungle Inferno, people are just being way too harsh on it. Right, the booties. It goes in the best because, I mean, it's a Demo Knight tool. Of course I have to put it there. Right, the Iron Bomber. I think I'm on the opinion of this being, basically a direct upgrade to the stock, grade launcher, because, yeah, I know because I feel like I can more consistently hit, my, shots, with that thing. Right, the Holiday Punch, or the Mittens. Right, it just goes in the best because, it's funny. I mean, and if you see a Hoovy using it, it's pretty cute, but, it is pretty good for, tickling your enemies from behind. The Rescue Ranger, it goes in the best because it's pretty much, very useful on Engineer if you need to, save your sentry or buildings in a quick pinch. And you can also, do things from a long range, which, and it isn't great for combat, but it's definitely perfect for keeping a sentry alive, which is why I'm putting it there. The Persian Persuader, I'm pretty sure that's its right name. It goes into great. I mean, if you use it anything but Demo Knight, it's basically lowering your clip by 75%, which is bad, pretty much. But if you use it as Demo Knight, then it becomes pretty much... And if you get a tons of kills with this thing, you basically are deadly. Which is pretty fun. The Jag goes into the best because it's basically a direct upgrade towards stock. Right, Spicicle. It goes into good because you have to go away from pyros for free, which is basically pretty useful in certain situations because pyro basically can counter against a spy if the pyro is good. Besides, once you have this thing out, you basically become immune to Afterburn, which is pretty useful. Anyway, the Stock Grenade Launcher goes in the best because, it's super powerful. And Frontier Justice goes in the best because you get free crits from your Sentry Gun, which is pretty great. The Islander goes in the best because, I pretty much use it a lot when I'm playing Demo Knights. And let me tell you, it's tons of fun just getting, 4 heads and just going on a rampage on different enemies. Right, direct hits. I'm putting this in best because, it's super fast, and it basically can one-shot any light classes. Plenty of scout mains will probably, be like, no, this weapon is too powerful, it deserves to go into annoying. But, just move. It doesn't have splash damage. Okay, the escape plan. Yeah, this goes in the best because it's an escape plan. And the power, same goes for the power jack, also, is basically what you would usually use as a pyro. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol goes in the best as well because it heals when you hit a shock with this thing, which is pretty useful. And the Clean Gloves of Boxing, they are going in great. Well, yes, you get guaranteed crits from this weapon. As a heavy, it's pretty hard for you to use your melees effectively in general, which is why I'm putting it in grade. Right. Boy. Okay, the Quickie Bomb Launcher. This goes into the best because I like this thing. And it's super fast, and it does, and just like the stock Sticky Bomb Launcher, it does quite a lot of damage. Okay, the stock knife. It goes in the best because it's basically a jack of all trades weapon, and you hit an enemy in the back, you basically kill them. Hey, you hit someone anything but the back, you sneeze in their face. Okay, the Crit Krieg. I like this one because it goes in the best because upon full Uber charge, you give someone 3 crits. That's insane. Okay, the Rocket Jumper goes into great because it's a Trojan weapon. Alright, and the good old rocket launcher goes in the best because Alright, the banner goes into the best because it's great for line heavies. The sandwich. It goes into the best because come on, it's a sandwich. Come on, why would I put it into anything but the best? It's the sandwich. Come on, why would you put it in? Let me just ask you something. Why would you put the sandwich in terrible? Let me ask you that. Right? Let me just ask you that. Why on earth would you put the sandwich in terrible tier? If you put the sandwich in terrible, who on earth are you? Anyway, the Tomislav. It goes in the best because A, it's really good, and B, heavy mains will pretty much kill me if I put it anywhere but. The Sapper. This basically goes into the best option because the other option is garbage. I'll get to that in due time. Okay, the Soda Popper goes in the best because well, it's not as great, not as good as it used to be. Having extra mid-air jumps is still a really great. Still really great, honestly. Okay, the stock scattergun goes in the best because it's just a jack of all trades kind of weapon. And the sticky bomb launcher, goes in the best because it's dummy strong. Like, you can spam this thing and you can light traps everywhere. It's ridiculous. Okay, the minigun. It's a big freaking gun. Come on, you get to shred through bad guys. Ubersaw. It goes in the best because you get free Uber charge from hitting opponents, and its crit rate is insane. Okay, the family business. Right, it goes in great. It is a great, fat scout weapon. Let me tell you that, at least. Okay, the Widowmaker goes in the best because, come on, if you hit all your shots, you basically have unlimited ammo. Right, the Phantom War. It goes into decent. It's only really good in MVM. Any other instance, it's just decent. I mean, at least it marks people for death, which is a pretty cool instance. But the biggest bazooka. This goes into good. I mean, if you fill up your entire thing with this thing, fill up tons of rockets with this thing, you're basically killing yourself, but it's not a bad weapon. It's pretty good at what it does. Okay, the short circuit also goes into good. It's perfect for deleting projectiles, especially from soldiers and demomen, but it's not game breaking unless you're playing payload. Okay, the flare gun. This goes into great. I mean, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still a very respectable option compared to the other flare guns. Right, the Claymore. This goes into good. It's only really good for trimping, I believe. Any Demonite mains, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there. The half-size Oichi goes into great because you kill someone with this thing, you basically just get overhealed. Okay, the Scotsman Skull Cutter. This goes into great because it's pretty much stronger than the other sword weapons, and it's the only weapon that can crit, which is pretty crazy. Okay, the Sticky Jumper. It goes into great because it's a pretty fun to use meme weapon. Right, the Battalion's Backup. It goes in the best because, tons of soldiers use the Battalion's backup. It's really good. Okay, the Detonator. This goes into great as well because it's pretty. Once you know how to use this, you can have really great utility with this thing. Okay, the extinguisher. This goes into great. It has been through a lot, but it's still a pretty great option to use. Okay, the Dead Ringer. This may surprise some people, but I'm putting this in good. It used to be super annoying, but now it's more fair to fight. And I mean, many people already know the entire story of the Dead Ring anyway, so I'm just not gonna ramble on and on about it. The disciplinary action. This goes in the best because you give yourself and your teammates free speed when you hit them, which is pretty useful. Eco effect. This goes into great. And engineering is a meme, but it honestly is pretty great to use, and it's also really useful if you need to quickly replace your teleporter, or if you just need just to teleport back to spawn and whatnot, just to get more metal and whatnot. It's pretty useful. Okay, the Cloak and Dagger. This goes into great. It's pretty meant to be for more of a patient playstyle type spy, if you know what I mean. Okay, the Big Owner. It goes into great. You get a free speed boost and more cloak upon killing someone. With the only real downside is that you basically die from pipe grenades more often, which is a bit of a problem for some spies, unless you're using the Dead Ringer. In that case, this thing is pretty good. The Black Box. It goes into, I'd say it goes in the best because it's basically, you get to heal yourself when you, when you hit a rocket with this thing. I mean, it's pretty useful, especially if you're using it with the Contour. The Charge and Targe. It goes in the best because I like this thing. It's my most used Demon Knight's shield. The Criticola. This goes into annoying. It's annoying when it doesn't work, and it's annoying to other people when it does work. Okay, the Rap Assassin goes into grade. It's pretty useful on a certain playstyle type of scout. For instance, the Babyface's Blaster, for instance. The Airstrike, it goes into good because let me tell you, using this with the base jumper is just stupidly fun to use. I don't know about you, but I just love using the Airstrike with the base jumper. It's really fun. The Contour goes into best because you get to heal yourself for free. Okay, the Winner. This goes into great because it gives you free mobility with just better jumps when you have this thing out. Pair this with the Soda Popper and you can basically just jump super high. Calmangler goes into the best because it basically doesn't have any ammo pool and it's only really bad against buildings because like the other laser weapons. I'd say this is the only laser weapon that is the best. Okay, I believe this is the stock flamethrower. I'm putting this in great because it's consistent. It does what it does. You know the jazz. Okay, the Cozy Camper. This goes into the best because, the Contour, you get to heal yourself for free. And as a sniper, that, is definitely a good thing because as a sniper, you would constantly have to go to, health packs constantly. The Warrior Spirits. I think a lot of us know where this goes. Terrible. Yep. Yep, I'm pretty sure everybody knows the Warrior Spirit is a bad weapon. Right. Hold on, I think I need a burp. Ugh, boy. Okay, the Cleaver. Yeah, actually no, the Flying Guillotine. It goes... Oh, whoops, hold on. Where did I put the Cleaver? Where is it? Where did I put that thing? Did it just phase out of existence or something? Oh wait, hold on, no. I'm putting this in grade because when you actually hit some of this, the bleed damage is definitely really good. It just requires some practice to get used to. Right, the Homewrecker. This goes into grade because it basically is the pyro weapon, right? And people love a Pybro because Pybros sacrifice any other utility that the other Pyro's melee weapons use, and just basically gets to destroy sappers in an instant. Right, the Stock Revolver. It goes into great because it's consistent, does reliable damage, and it's basically perfect if you just need to do what Spy usually does if you've found out. The pistol goes into great because it's pretty reliable. Enough said. Okay, the quick fix goes into great. Because if you just it's only really if you don't trust your team to kill people, well, and if they just keep on losing health, then this is a great option. Okay, the Huntsman goes into great because the hitbox on this thing is stupid. Yeah, the Fire Axe. This goes into terrible because there's just no reason to use the Fire Axe compared to other options. Okay, sheesh. Yeah, sure, sheesh. Alright, Triangler. I'm pretty sure I said that right. This goes into the best because you can basically, keep filling up your cloak if you hit all your shots of this thing. It's pretty amazing, honestly. Okay, the SMG. This goes in... Come on. Yeah, that's true. Yep. Okay, the SMG goes into great because it's basically the perfect way to help if you're a sniper that's in close range proximity of someone. This is a perfect last resort weapon, and it does pretty good damage all around. Right, Fist of Steel. This goes into the best because you get to tank tons of damage, and you're basically helping your medic build up Uber because some people don't know this, but there's a very, very old bug where the Fist of Steel will basically cause the overheal fall off thing that happens with the medigun to be ignored for some reason, which is a bit of a weird bug, but you could definitely take advantage of it. The Force of Nature. This goes into great. It does more damage than the stock static gun, sure, but it pushes enemies far away which makes me consider this a great option, but not enough to replace the scattergun, honestly. Okay, the sniper rifle. This goes into the best as well because it's pretty consistent all around. I mean, you hit someone in the head, boom, headshot. You don't hit someone in the head, you probably try to revolve body shots, so you probably kill them with their light class or medic. Unless they're not overhealed. The loose cannon. This goes in great. I mean, if it's used, you want to play sometime, maybe. I don't know. The loose cannon is basically really powerful if used in the right hands. But I'm putting it in great because it's very, very difficult to master. But hitting double donks is really crazy satisfying. The Hitman's Hitmaker. I haven't seen this one used too much, but it basically rewards you for hitting headshots, pretty much, which makes this a pretty great option to use if you can reliably hit your headshots. The Gas Passer. Yeah, this weapon's a piece of shit. Yeah, I don't know if was behind making this weapon. Like, this weapon sucks. Ugh. Oh boy. The stock fists. This goes into terrible because it's just there's better options. There's just way better options. The Tide Turner. This goes into the best because you get insane mobility as a Demo Knight, at the cost of not being able to do a guaranteed critical strike when your charge is about to end. The Hot Hand. This goes into terrible because it's literally a meme weapon. I mean, it's funny at least. I'll give it that. The Huang heater. This goes in. This may surprise some people, but it goes into decent. Yeah, the Ring of Fire isn't really that great, but if you have a friendly pyro, this basically is pretty strong, but it's pretty situational in its uses. A Lollichop, wait, why don't I put this in, reskins? Yeah, there we go. Okay, the Red Tape Recorder. This sucks. This thing sucks. Okay, let's be more realistic. It's only really useful against certain type of engineers, like against the barrel engineer that uses the Frontier Justice, or if there's just tons of engineers on the enemy team. Like, the only reason you would use this is if you want to piss off an engineer, but even then, that instance is just so minor that just use the stock sapper, you idiot. Okay, the glucose bar. This goes into good. It gives you more health, which I say is pretty useful to use. In certain instances. But it does heal less than the banana and the sandwich, which has been unfortunate, but hey, at least it's pretty usable. And also, fun fact, the Locos is chocolate, which is Russian for chocolate, which is pretty cool reference. The Thompson 6000. We all know where this piece of shit goes. It goes in terrible. And the Righteous Bison. Yeah, everybody knows this thing sucks. It goes in terrible. Like, for some reason, this thing has received more nerfs than buffs. Like, how? This weapon was just screwed from the very beginning. Okay, the bottle. It goes in the best because it's a bottle scrumpy. Aye, me bottle scrumpy. Like, right, the Sandman, one of the biggest fallen giants ever. It goes into terrible because, man, the sad fate of the Sandman. Man, just everybody, let's just have a bit of a moment of silence for the old Sandman because this thing is basically useless now. Rest in peace, old Sandman. Actually, no, I mean, pre-Jungle Inferno, and post, 2012 Sandman, I believe. Like, this used to be super useful, but now it's useless. Now, it's not a mistake, this thing was terrible from the start, it goes here. Okay, the Kukuri, it goes into great. I mean, it's basically a reliable stock melee weapon. Pain Train, this goes into decent. It does make you more vulnerable, but it does let you, cap, basically become a scout with capping in potential, if you choose as soldier or demon with this thing. The Man Treads. This goes into great, because, it's for shoulder. The Neon Annihilator. This might surprise some people, but I'm putting this into decent. Yes, Pyro Sharking is a meme, but it's pretty fun to use. Besides, you can still, use this thing, to get rid of sappers, but even then, I'd say the Home Wrecker is still the better option, because, The Sharpened Volcano Fragment. We all know where this goes. Yeah. Because it sucks. Screw this thing. Okay, the Miz Watch. This goes into the best because, it's pretty reliable. The Lock and Load. I'm putting this into good, surprisingly. It's, some people maybe he's surprised at that, but I think this is still a good weapon. Even if it's, oh, even if it was, a little neutered from its old design, I don't think it is as bad as some Doberman mains make it out to be. The gunboats. This goes into great because, yeah, it's good to deal damage. Yes, that is very true. And also it's basically now designed to just, destroy engineered buildings because, And the gunboat, is basically the type of weapon that you'd want to use if you want to take less damage from rocket jumping, which is pretty useful. Okay, the Alpul Caber. This is a weapon that is unfortunately very sad. Like, you used to be able to terrorize, snipers, but now you can't do that anymore. And the only weapon which is why it goes into terrible, but if you use it with Caber Knight, it's actually a ton of fun. But, honestly, Valve, please bring back the old Caber. Like, please, like, let everybody be able to terrorize snipers again, please. Please. Like, come on. Please. Right, the Rainblower, yeah, this is a reskin, so it just goes here because, it's a reskin. The Scottish Resistance, I'm actually putting this in good because, it's only bad if you don't know what you're doing with this thing, because, a sticky bomb is a sticky bomb, and it basically encourages you to use your brain, which, a lot of Demoman players, don't do because they're drunk. Yeah, it is also really good in MVM, which is pretty good. The base jumper, I'm putting this in decent because, on certain playstyles of Demoman and Soldier, it can be pretty good, and especially on certain maps. And if those instances didn't exist, I would put it in terrible, because, I'll be able to deploy once is actually a bad thing. And the reason it's like that is because Lime Green soldiers couldn't hit the air shots. Because, you used to be able to deploy a ton without, being punished for it. I don't think this thing should have gone nerfed. As a reserve shooter, I'm putting this in, decent. I mean, you get mini crits, from this thing, from blast damage, but it used to be stupidly powerful. It got neutered to the point. I mean, I think, its nerf from Air Blast, definitely wasn't deserved, at least. It's a decent shotgun, at least. The Backscatter, this thing's a piece of shit. It goes on terrible, because why would you use this over the other options? I mean, sure, you get many crits on the back, but you would probably be able to do that with any other scattergun. Right, what is this option? The Shansha. It goes into decent. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. I mean, you do more damage, from when you're at low health, which, if you pair that with crits, that's makes this thing, a little terrifying. But, it's not a bad option. It doesn't have any, true downside, how you play as a sniper. The Natasha, this goes in annoying because it's annoying to fight. Especially if it's used on a heavy that knows what he is doing. The Southern Hospitality, I actually really like this weapon, but I can agree that, it does have, some downsides that prevents it from being downright, crazy. So, for that reason alone, it goes into decent. It's not, amazing, but it's not terrible, either. The Stock Bats. This thing is just bad in general. Okay, the Buffalo Steak. Yeah, this thing's the Alien Lunchbox item that's terrible. Ugh. I don't like it. Okay, the Classic. I think that the Classic, isn't as bad as some people say, which is why I'm putting it in decent, but I will agree that it's pretty hard to use effectively. It's only really used if you're really patient as a sniper. Okay, the cleaner's carbine. I'm putting surprisingly I'm putting this in decent because as I mentioned earlier, if you use this with the bushwhacker, you get 3 mini crits. But any other instance, it's just a worse SMG. Okay, the bone saw. Terrible. The enforcer. Surprisingly, it's decent. Its upsides are very rarely used, but in any other instance that you use this, it's basically just a bit of a worse revolver, but it's not unusable, which is why I'm putting it there. Anyway, the Darwin's Danger Shield. This goes into terrible because okay. Oh yeah, the Enforcer used to be really good back in the day, but nowadays it's just a worse stock revolver. And its upsides are very rarely used. But I am putting it in decent because it's not useless. You can still use it. Right, the Darwin's Danger Shield goes into terrible because the upside of being immune to Pyro Afterburn is just rarely used because as a sniper, you rarely encounter Pyros as a sniper too much, and even then, if you want to get rid of Afterburn, I may have found the perfect secondary for you. The Girardi. Okay, the eviction notice. If you want a brew without draining your health, this is for you. Except don't use this because this thing sucks. You do less damage, which means this thing is terrible. Okay, the Equalizer. Man, many people know the story of the old Equalizer. It used to be annoying the fight, but Valve basically split the effects into 2 weapons, and I think many people know that the escape plan is the better option over the Equalizer. I'm putting this into decent because it's not terrible, it's just only situational. Oh, but it's a far cry from how it used to work. Divider Saw. This goes into decent. It used to be absolutely terrible, but its organ harvesting mechanic is pretty decent at the very least, but again, just use Divider Saw. Because, you know, the Flog. This goes into good. I mean, I know people dog on this weapon, but honestly, I don't think it's as bad as other people make it out to be. The only reason people hate it is because of its lack of air blast, which is very useful, but I don't think it's as bad as other people make it out to be. Splendid, Spleen, I think that's its name. Yeah, I think this goes into great because I don't think it's my favorite shield to use, but it doesn't mean it's a bad option. Okay, people hate it for its annoying meter. Yeah, true. Okay, the Razorback. This goes into decent because as a sniper, it makes you immune to backstabs, but some people some spies, of course, you know, just uses the ambassador to just basically, you know, pow. I mean, of course, there are instances where spies don't know how the Razorback works, which basically is pretty good. Okay, the Solemn Vow. I'm putting this into decent as well because unless you're communicating with your team, basically what this thing offers just isn't really too useful. Well, which is why I'm putting it in decent. But if you're communicating with your team, this thing can definitely be useful. Okay, the Schlock Shovel. This goes into terrible because, you know, it's just there's better options. Everybody knows that. Okay, the Shortstop. Yeah, this goes into decent because Like, it used to be one of the best scout primaries, but it got neutered so hard that people just were like, stop, he's already dead. Man, just the sad fate of the shortstop is just a bit very sad for a lot of people, but it's not bad. You can definitely still have some fun with it, especially if you pair with certain weapons. And let me just say for the record that the shove is useless. Because why would you use it? Unless you're just dicking around. Alright, the vaccinator. Okay, shovel sucks, to be honest. Yeah, the shovel does kind of suck. Alright, the vaccinator. This goes into great. I mean, yeah, some people are pretty annoyed at the vaccinator, but but I won't say that it's outright overpowered. Like, it's just, yeah, it can be annoying sometimes, but it's not as crazy as, and I rarely see people use the vaccinator nowadays, honestly. Right, the Sydney Sleeper. You know, the piss gun. The piss gun goes with the bed. I'm kidding. This goes into good. Well, yes, it's a pretty good support role, at least. The thermal thruster, yes, ha ha ha, yes, I am such funny. I'm such the funny because, you know, I make the funny jokes. The thermal thruster also goes into good. It's a pretty perfect way to just, you know, get more mobility as a pyro. Yes, you do sacrifice being able to, you know, use the flare guns or the shotguns, but it's pretty good at what it does. Okay, the the third degree. This is the only direct upgrade that is just bad. I mean, its upsides is just rarely used because since when would you use it? Which is why it's terrible. Like, the upside is just so minuscule. The amputator. This goes into good because, what? No, that's the Vitasaur. That's the Vitasaur, you idiot. Stupid clicky. Where on earth did I put it by accident? My god. Ugh. Damn mouse. This goes into good because, if you have, tons of your teammates, hold up, you can basically, taunt to heal your teammates through. The Shiverman's Shiv. This goes into terrible because its upside is just not good anymore. It's basically, got nerfed very hard. Like, yes, you can still easily try to find, that enemy spy, but come on. The Babyface's Blaster. The fallen giant of the Babyface's Blaster. It used to be a really great scout weapon, but now a lot of people rarely use it. But if you pair this with the Cleaver and the Rap Assassin, you can basically get a taste of the good old days, which is why I'm actually putting this in decent, because if you use that set, it's actually a fun weapon. Right, the back scratcher. I'm not really experienced with this thing. Okay, could you give me some insight on the back scratcher? I am not really experienced with the back scratcher. Right. Anyway, yeah, actually, no, I do think, the instance of being able to build Uber with this thing, I think that's a thing. But I'm putting it in decent, because, you know, Yeah. The back burner. This goes into good because it's pretty great as an ambush tool. Especially, since, you do guaranteed crits from the back, which is pretty useful. The bot sword though. This goes into decent because, it's honestly my favorite syringe gun to use because you get free healing, from just hitting your opponents. It's the same as the syringe gun in terms of damage, but at least you can heal yourself from your hits, at the very least. The Brass Beasts. This is only useful in MVM. Anything else, just don't use it. I'm just kidding. It does have situational uses. Which is why I'm putting it in decent. The Candy Cane. This goes into, good because, you get free health packs, from killing your enemies, and the effects are basically passive, which means you can just use it on any other weapon, not just your melee. But the only downside is you're very vulnerable to explosive hits, which is a bit of a problem. Okay, the Liberty Launcher. This one goes into decent. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. It's basically very useful if you just want to practice, shoulder. The Machina. Or Machina, however you say that. It goes into good because it's basically like this sniper rifle, but body shots are way better. You know? Okay, the Man Melter. This is the only laser projectile weapon that everybody forgets. For good reason, which means it's not really that good. I mean, sure, being able to extinguish, air fire from your teammates is good, but only if there's a friendly pyro. I mean, it pairs pretty well with the Flog, but that's about it. Alright, the Overdose. I'm putting this one in decent as well. It's one of the best, syringe guns, because, you get to go faster as a medic, depending on how full your Uber charge is, which is definitely pretty good, but, the only downsides is that you do less damage with this thing, and, you have to have your you know, syringe gun out, when you use this. And the wrench, this just goes into decent. It serves the purpose of the typical stock weapon. And that is the entire tier list. So, at the top, Golden Frying Pan. And at the second top, the Frying Pan. Okay, the Jag is better, yes, I agree. Which is why I put the Jag right here at the best. Okay, annoying. We have the Scorched Shirt, the Wrangler, and the Diamondback, the Criticola, and the Natasha. These weapons are annoying. These weapons are basically the meta. These weapons are really great. These weapons are usually good options. These weapons are decent at what they do. These weapons are just bad. And these weapons are just, simple reskins of stock. So yeah, that's basically, my tier list of the different TF2 weapons, that exist. What? So, okay, really great tier list, thank you. I definitely think, I have already made a tier list, beforehand, but, I didn't really feel too satisfied, with some of the choices, which is why I did this. Right, hold on, I'm just going to do something real quick. Okay, add row above. Yeah, I'm going to put this up online just so I can see people putting this on my Twitter, just so people can, you know, get a good idea of what I think is the best weapons, you know. And just to let you know, for instance, just to let you know, for starters, if you're a competitive TF2 player, I'm just going to state for the record that I am not. And I'm going to say something that might haunt you. I like playing with random crits. So yeah, this tier list may or may not be for people who play the game seriously. Damn. Yep, that is basically my hot take of today. Yeah. I am one of the few people in the TF2 community that likes random crits. I'm sorry. Right, hold on, let me just get rid of oh, whoops. Oop. I'll just delete this row because, you know. Anyway, I think nowadays is now's a good time to, you know, end the stream. I really right, I'll let you in on a secret too. I love them too. Hell yeah, random crits gang. Right, I think nowadays is a good time to end you know, the stream. I really hope you all enjoy the stream. If you're watching the archives, I hope you probably enjoyed my hot takes or something like that. I don't know. They're probably good or bad. I don't know. Again, I'm not competitive. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little stream. Anyway, nowadays it's time for me to say bye bye. So yeah, go away.